like for injuries, as far as like managing injuries when you were younger, how did that like play into that toxic sport environment? And then are you like managing them different now? And did you feel any pressure from like coaches or anyone else to run through injuries?
The time, so I was fortunate to not get injured until I was older.
Mhm.
Um, or like I was old enough to like be in the training room and be like, oh, I'm injured, but I'm gonna go hang out with Leanna. And so like I think it was like my junior year before I had something that was like I have to like not run for a little while or it like hurts too much to run, which was like a whole new thing to me. But I had like the right people to intervene at the right time, like a trainer, Leanna, to like mob me through things. But that also gave me time to like observe and like see what was expected. And I could tell that like when you were injured, it was more beneficial to still go to practice. Um, or like not cross train alone. And so like I was able to observe like the people who like were upset or disappeared. And obviously ignorance is bliss. I can be like, well, I'm not going to do that when I'm hurt. But I did gain knowledge from that. And then eventually like I did run through some things because I was confused about like, well, if I can still train, then am I hurt? Like, because I didn't understand what soft tissue stuff. And then, some of that's because I couldn't go into the training room and have Leanna give me stim and do, trigger points on my glutes. Like,
Mhm.
so it was like as I ran out of resources and the more my like livelihood was dependent on my running performance, the more I was confused. And then those were times when I was like, my mental health wasn't great because I had been like isolating myself. So when I was like around people and could see what was happening and had things to compare to, like in a healthy way, not like in the bad destructive way, but like, oh, that's that person. If I had been by someone who was like, oh, they're running pain free and that's what it should be like, oh, yeah, I'm injured. Like I should do something. Um, but yeah, that would still come back to like basic knowledge about female bodies would be great to know about. Like maybe all my problems are because my hips are weak. Like I remember someone like telling me like way after the fact that they were like, oh yeah, somebody saw a picture of you running and they were like, she's gonna have hip problems when she's older. I'm like, why did you tell me that? Why didn't someone tell me that the picture of me at the national championship where I'm running really fast and I did really well, but like you can see, you would know better, Katie, like the internal or external like rotation of my foot.
Yeah, you know what I know from someone saying you're gonna have hip problems from seeing how you run at a really high level is that some bullshit.
But it's
And
been true though.
but that's not why,
Yeah, yeah.
like that's also something that drives me nuts is people who think that they can look at like someone's gait in um what's the word, like forecast future injuries.
Yeah.
It's just not a thing, and if someone tells you that, then that is untrue. And especially I just I've noticed that people like to pick apart women's bodies,
That's true.
especially.
Mhm.
I have been on a Let's Run board talking about how I'm a well endowed elite
Jesus,
athlete. Max
don't
Goldak sent me like a thing, and I was
that
like,
that is like actually traumatic and gross, and I'm
yeah,
sorry
I
that
didn't know what to do. I was old enough in college where I was like, I get that these people are stupid and like, haha, that they think that I'm a busty or an
yeah.
elite runner.
God,
It
yeah.
doesn't go
When
together.
when
But
when someone like tries to say or use like their medical knowledge or how whatever their background is that, oh, well, they overstride so or they do this so it's just I'm just not having it, when a lot of this I'm off on a tangent now, but
No, that's
when
fine.
when people will come and say, "Oh, I want a gait analysis and I'm perfectly healthy and my training's going great and nothing's wrong, but I think I run weird." My response would be, then you run weird because it's going well for you. There's, you know, we're not trying to turn people into robots with physical therapy. We're trying to help people be themselves and do the mechanics that work for them. So like that drives me wild that someone would tell you at a high level from a championship photo that you're going to have hip problems. Like that's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, but in the background of my mind of where I was going with that is like, why didn't someone teach us like why hip strength was important? Not just like let's do curls, but like
Yeah.
where should we like we were talking about, Jackie, like for some reason there's this message that like core was a huge deal, like doing core work was so big. Like now there's like a generation of us that all have like glutes that aren't active. We should have been doing glute work, not core work. Like, and just like basic stuff like that. Like, again, why is it so hard for us to like find out information about our internal bodies, our muscular skeletal systems, our mental health, like as women? Like, why is it so hard to find this information? Why do we have to go to school or have professional running careers to learn that? Like, it just shouldn't.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be a knowledge that you like earn or pay money for. Like, it should be basic.
That is a great way to put it. And I always say like to myself, when this information that I'm trying to like say over and over every day to young women becomes common knowledge for both young men, young women, coaches, parents, athletes, physicians, everybody, when this is common knowledge, like, oh yeah, the period is a barometer of a female athlete's health, then that's when we're making some progress. But before then, like we need to just keep saying it and keep putting it out there until it is this like repetitive message that women are getting.